you some messages, and then we'll bring you a conversation with the Electoral Commission in a bit. This one says, good morning, Mama V. Roland. In fact, there is a sex tape trending on social media where GHS 3 pupil, a girl and a young boy believed to be in his teens, are involved in sex. It's alleged, okay, no names here. I want you to come down to Yendi here and follow the story to provide justice to especially the schoolgirl, because the elderly are trying to suppress the issue. That's a concerned citizen in Yendi sending us that message. And this coincides with something that's in the Weekend Finder newspaper of today. Where
about the law that has been passed?
It's an existing law, apparently, because it's 2008 something. It's on page 2. You can check it out. Where if you're found to be sharing videos of people engaged in sex or nude pictures of people under the age of 18, you could be punished by the law because it's an offense. But this is quite a bit of a different story, if you like. It's related in the way. But yes, we'll give it to our correspondent for him to check it out for us. But Roland, I mentioned before that I sat down with the head of communications at the Electoral Commission. Okay, so why don't you do me the honors?
All right, so the Electoral Commission, they've been saying it is in the process of deleting names of those who register with the NHIS cards from the voters register. And we all know this is an order by the Supreme Court. The Commission says it is developing also a clear roadmap and a detailed guide on how these deletions will be made. This is regardless of a fresh controversy sparked by comments by the law lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Ramona Tukuba, who is insisting that the EC cannot automatically delete the names of NHIS registrants. We'll see how that goes. But the court last week, we all know, gave a firm directive on this very submission to the commission. And so Mama V decided upon great consultation with people like us. Really? And those are the background like Michaela Anderson and
Fred Smith,
Abla D'Souza, Fred Smith, and the rest to speak to Eric Jakbasu. If you haven't heard the name, he's fresh in the job as the PR boss for the Electoral Commission. And this is what he said.
Elections being what it is, and being an arbiter in an election in a country where the environment is so polarized, you expect some of these things to happen. So we take it normal and we'll manage with it.
Does it, those comments that you hear every day in the media, the newspapers and on the radio and television stations, does that bring the morale down working at the Electoral Commission?
No, not really. It rather energizes you. It rather makes the commission to be much more stronger, to be able to deliver to the expectation of the majority of the Ghanaians.
Let's talk about what's on the table. The Electoral Commission, the Supreme Court recent ruling with regards to you deleting names of almost 57,000 persons who use the NHIS cards to register to get onto the electoral roll. How do you intend going about that?
Yeah, I'll be very true. We were in court and the Supreme Court gave the orders that we should immediately delete the names of persons who registered with the NHIS card. The number about 56,739. Then also all other persons who are not on our list. If anybody has any evidence of other people who are not on the list, they submit it to us with the necessary proof. Then we proceed to delete them immediately and then give opportunity to those people to provide the necessary documentation and proof of eligibility to be registered so that they can take part in the 2016 elections and subsequent elections. Definitely, as a law-abiding institution, as we have always done, we're going to comply with the orders of the Supreme Court, and we are in the process of developing the necessary modalities. And very soon we'll be out with the time, date, and place for the deletion and then the re-registration of those who will be eligible.
Would we have a publication of the names that are supposed to be automatically deleted?
That's what I said earlier on, that we are in the process of developing the modalities. As soon as we are ready with it, we will come out with all the fine details of what to go into the deletion and then the re-registration.
I'm curious, so based on what law would you be automatically deleting?
Yeah, the law will be the orders of the Supreme Court. I'm not a lawyer, but we have been made to understand that the orders of the Supreme Court amounts to a law. Earlier on, the Supreme Court said we should delete, give the opportunity to the people to re-register under applicable laws. And the existing laws as at the time of that ruling was the CI 91. But when we went to court the last time, the Supreme Court said, look, our orders supersede the CI 91. You can do this exercise under the CI 91. So per the orders of the Supreme Court, it means that we have a solid legal grounds to move in and delete automatically as ordered by the Supreme Court.
So I take it that the Electoral Commission is not going to appeal this decision?
Not at all. Not at all. We're not going to appeal it. We're going to comply. We are not litigating with the Supreme Court. We are not litigating. An order was given, and the petitioners wanted further clarification. They went to the court clarified, and then gave specific orders, and we intend to comply with the orders.
Time is not your good friend right now. You have a lot of things still to do. We've got the exhibition. We even have, with the limited registration exercise, challenges that you have not dealt with yet. Meanwhile, this order is supposed to be carried out before you do any of the other exercises that you had lined up to do. So how do you intend managing with the little time left?
Yeah, if I may come up with some corrections out. We finished with the registration exercise.
The limited registration.
We finished with the limited registration exercise. Challenges were raised against some people who were suspected not to be eligible to be on the voters' roll. Those challenges have been dealt with by the district registration review committees, and people in those categories who were, as it were, disqualified by registration review committees have their names on the exception or exclusion list. And this is what we're going to send to the exhibition center to finish up the process of cleaning up and updating the voters register. Yes, we have a timetable which is geared towards having our elections on the 7th of November, awaiting the approval of the amendment bill from Parliament. It's a flexible kind of timetable, and every electoral activity is time-bound, is dictated by the laws. So we build in gaps to take care of any changes that may come. Now we have these clear orders from the Supreme Court to delete immediately the names of those persons and then give them the opportunity to register. We just factor it into our calendar of activities, and I think we can cope with all.
So do we have timelines within which, do you have an idea when you intend rolling out the process to do this?
Yeah, that's what I've told you earlier on, that we got the orders on Tuesday, and today is Thursday. In due course, not too long, the entire modality.
Which is, Friday, next Monday, Tuesday?
No, I wouldn't pin it on a particular date or time, but very soon it will come out, and we'll go out, we'll publicize it out there, and we'll be able to delete and give them the opportunity to register. And I'm very sure we'll make up the timeline. If Parliament approves 7th of November for the election, we will meet it. If it doesn't approve it, we may have to go to the 7th of December.
If you look at the things that are left to be done before the election itself, don't you think we should stick with the December dates?
You see, the issue of changing the dates from the 7th of December to the November, it's a requirement, it's a demand from the entire Ghanaian public, based on our previous experiences with elections on the 7th of December. It is those demands, requests from the public, from the civil society, from political parties, which has informed the decision to amend to have it on the 7th of December. But if the issue is about our time, I think we are comfortable with the time, and if Parliament approves of the 7th of December, we can manage it.
Your earlier plan didn't have this deletion and re-registration do you have the funds to be able to do this exercise, carry out this exercise successfully?
The exercise will be carried on successfully.
So we're talking about enough funds to do this?
With the exercise as ordered by the Supreme Court, whatever it takes for the Electoral Commission to comply and make sure that the deletion is done, then we'll proceed with the exhibition to clean the register.
So I take it that you don't have issues with funds?
I don't think funds should be a problem. I don't think funds should be a problem. If we should have problems with funds, we'll go to the appropriate courts, and I'm very sure we'll have the way to do it.
Some people have said that it's strange to have a whole district where nobody registered to get onto the voters register with an NHIS card. That's questionable, isn't it?
It is not really questionable. I would take it as a statement of opinion. If they have any evidence to the contrary, they should just bring it up. 2012 biometric registration, it was largely an issue of bring your old voter's ID card and then come forward, a new one. So most people came out with their old voter's ID card, got it. Maybe the few people who were new applicants, those who were qualified as at 2012 in terms of age, and maybe those who couldn't register during the previous years. I was in the field. Most of them use guarantors. So it is not strange. That is why we're saying that we are in custody of the primary data. They are intact. We've gone to it, and we have fished out those who did the registration with the NHIS card. If anybody has any other evidence, just bring it out, because the court has also ruled that if we are not able to capture, if you know of any other person on that list, bring it up, and if you have the supporting evidence and document, why not? We'll proceed.
Would you pull out Form A to challenge the fact that somebody says somebody registered with an NHIS card?
Mama, we will get to that depending on whatever the person brings forward as his proof of somebody having used the NHIS card. So when we get to that point, we'll cross it.
What's the commission saying? Are you appealing to people who registered with the NHIS card to come forward and change that?
It's as I've told you earlier on, the orders have been given. We will soon come out with a comprehensive program indicating time, place, and the modalities for the deletion, and then, as it were, re-registering the people. So when that one comes out, it will be an entire package of information.
Is this priority for the Electoral Commission?
Yes, it forms part of the deletion, of the cleaning up of our register, and being a Supreme Court order, it is a priority, because as a law-abiding institution, we intend to fully comply. And as the court said, we should do it immediately. So it's a matter of urgency, it's a matter of priority.
Can Ghanaians trust that this year's election will come off peacefully?
Yes, Ghanaians, in their very good way, they've always trusted, they've always supported, they've always participated, and we've come out with 6 successful elections. We are on to the 7th one. In the same manner, Ghanaians should trust. You see, having a credible election is a shared responsibility. It takes all of us to have free and fair elections. So if Ghanaians, the general public, the media, the security, civil service, name them, we are all committed to having a very peaceful elections. Why not? We have the mandate to roll out the election. We have the mandate to organize, conduct, and declare results. Okay? But we certainly need the support of everybody, and it is very important that all the stakeholders play it by the rules and play it fairly. It shouldn't be a matter of we and easy. It is not. Shouldn't be. We all have stakes in this election. It is our country. It goes well for all of us. But if the country bends, we bend together.
Are you, perhaps this will be the final question, are you calling an immediate IPAC meeting to consider the modalities that you will put on the table to proceed with how to carry out what the Supreme Court has said?
Political parties certainly are stakeholders, very critical stakeholders in this whole business of elections. So when we roll out the program, they will be part of it.
What's the one thing that every Ghanaian can do right now to support the work of the Electoral Commission?
Every Ghanaian must have faith and trust in the Electoral Commission, as they've always had all over the years, which has enabled us as a country to be where we are in our quest for democracy. Ghanaians should fully participate in all our activities. Very soon we'll come out with the exhibition. And this is the final stage in the preparation and the cleaning of the voters' register. You know, the bedrock of a credible election should be a credible register. So people should participate fully in the exhibition exercise. You go out there, correct your personal data. If you have problems with your ID card, you you apply for a new voter's ID card. You make sure, importantly, the names of the deceased. We all in our part of the world, I mean, we revere the dead. We attend the funerals a lot, Mama V, and I. If come exhibition day, from 2012 up to date, we can go there and delete at least 5 or 6 of the people's funeral you have attended. Maybe friends, relatives, and colleagues. If each and every one of us will sincerely go there and assist the Electoral Commission with the necessary information for us to delete, we will be on our way having a very clean register after we have deleted the health insurance people from the register. You need to have your either the burial permit, a death certificate, a newspaper publication of the obituary notice, or maybe an attestation, okay, from a family head with the obituary notice indicating that, and also the voter's ID card of the deceased person. You go to the exhibition center and you apply for deletion. You will be carried through the necessary processes. And when the district registration review officer, who is the district magistrate, gives the go-ahead, who will expunge the register of all such deceased persons.